Hello, hello, beautiful person watching this. I am so happy that you're here. Welcome back to another Slay the Spire Ascension 20 Silent Run. On this channel, I put my recorded wins with some commentary and general discussion about this beautiful game that we play. So having a look. Some tough looking paths. But the right side notably has no hallway fights all the way up to like floor 9 it looks like. Or 10 perhaps. With a super lead at the end, so I could high roll and hit no hallways and get a double snipe, including the super lead. And if it doesn't work out, we can figure something out, so I go for it. Find scrap ooze, 2 clicks for a frozen egg, that's really good. And we get a well-laid plans on sale. Definitely a little bit early for well-laid plans, but it's upgraded. It's on sale, and it's just a good card. I'm not sure if I would be able to realistically get away with clicking it if it was not on sale, because I can also buy a good attack common here alongside it. But just the fact that it's upgraded, I think it's fine. And on sale, I mean. Now we get Golden Idol. Lose the max health, of course. Taking 20 is really brutal. Take 0 instead. And so we have 2 campfires coming up. I could rest if I want to after upgrading these cards, but it's definitely possible that on average choosing an upgrade is better than 2 random upgrades there with 10 strikes and defends in the silent deck. And we get our first snipe, find a Juzu bracelet. Very sad. All of the question marks can no longer give us hallway fights. Sometimes doing nothing. And it's not even too bad to get a hallway fight. We find another shop. That's not great, we don't have very much gold, so I fully pass. But at least it wasn't a hallway fight. If it was anything other than a fight, we'd be very happy, because we're going into a super elite, and we had Nia's Lament. And we find Mango as well for 14 max health, of course, and bronze scales. Whenever we take an attack hit, we will reflect 3 damage, so that includes the multi-hits. Each hit will make them take 3 damage. Solid damage, and then particularly good in a few fights. Thinking of book stabbing, thinking of the birds especially in Act 2, easy pull. And the heart, in fact. Hitting you for 15 times on the big turns. So that's going to end up doing over 100 damage very easily in that fight. And another attack common, Dagger Spray, for our slime boss coming up here. Looks pretty good. There's also a Tactician, very speculative at this point. But I know that's a good card. Whatever that means. And we're still getting easy pool fights, of course, so. Poor Jawworm. Still not trivial. This enemy is rather insane. Should take no damage, though. Could have played regular defend and kept the big defend. Mistake. Second Dagger Spray is a bit questionable. I think we have enough attacks. Definitely doing some stuff. Bane was there as well. Definitely thought about Bane. I do have double Poison Stab, I believe, or just one, but even that's good enough. Definitely not too bad here. But you don't want to add it if you don't have to. Eventually it'll basically just be a strike. Once the enemies all have, 500 health or whatever. Pretty good fight here. Louse Fungi Beast, usually not bad. Louse is like the most generous enemy to appear alongside. Just a very nice smooth play pattern of hit it once on the first turn and then kill it next turn. And it's usually not hitting you too hard. And a Noxious Fumes Plus is here, but I was also thinking about this Leg Sweep to be sure. Leg Sweep, we have no block cards, and Leg Sweep's really good. So I was thinking about it, but the Fumes Plus was simply too juicy, especially against the slime boss. Doing a lot of damage. The Dagger Spray, I believe. Definitely good here. Can hit 2 or even 4 things. Draw the Fumes in a timely manner. Love to see that. And I do have a dex potion, so I rip it. Definitely not messing around with Slimbo. It's not too big of a deal, and in fact it'll even save us a few health next act once we heal, because at some ascension, you no longer heal full health from killing the act boss, you instead only gain 75% of your missing health. So, current health, in fact, does matter at least a little bit. I can't do any more damage, it's going to 77 here. I don't want to split quite yet. And have a bigger split. And then here, Dagger Spray does 12, Blade Dance does 12, Poison Stab does 12. My god. That's a pretty good split for the Silent, to be sure. And it's unusual to, you know, be so comfortable living through the 38 hit. That's rather spooky. But we had a good amount of block here. And just perfectly setting up the green slime to be able to kill it, or just have a really good split at this turn. You normally want to be hitting the one that's not hitting you, because it will be hitting you later. Whereas if you can't kill the or split the one that's hitting you, then it's like you didn't even block at all. And then it'll stop hitting you the turn you can kill it, and it's like, oh god, now I have to kill the other one because that one's hitting me now. So, it's important to realize the awkward situations that can occur like that. And After Image was Wraith form. Sadly, After Images doesn't really become better when you upgrade it. Starting in your hand can be good and all, but the card itself is the exact same. Whereas Wraith form basically gets like twice as good, because the first turn you play it, you can't really usually do anything, and then you get 2 turns to do whatever you want instead of just 1. So Wraith form plus, obviously, if it was against other cards, I would have snap-clicked it. The After Image made me think for a moment. And we are offered a Snecko Eye with a deck full of 1-cost cards and a Wraith form. But we can start adding some more value cards into there, and just the Wraith form makes it really good. Drawing 7 cards a turn is the obvious huge upside of Snecko Eye, and sometimes you can even make the cost randomization an upside for you as well, which then it becomes insane. And so the Wraith form costing 0 or 1 would be really huge, basically giving us the real third turn of having you know, completely intangible, can do whatever we want. And we do have Wellied plans as well, which is very important. We can, even if it costs 3, just save the Wraith form forever until we really need it. And then if it costs, you know, 0 or 1, then it's really, really nice to keep around. And I probably didn't need to take this fight so seriously, but I mean, triple buffing birds, that's like 1 billion damage here if I didn't break that bird. Play the Wraith form here because it blocks for 12, and we have, even against 2 damage 6 times, it's still a significant amount of block. Crazy. And we do have bronze scales, of course, so as mentioned earlier, the birds here get absolutely owned. And hit the one that's hitting for 1 times 6, of course, just in case. And block here. Actually would have just died. The one that was hitting me for 1 times 6. And second Fumes is here. And so Fumes Plus is really why. Going from 3 to 6 is really good. Find a potion belt, giving us 4 potion slots, of course, or 2 more, so 5 if you're on lower ascension. And Mummy Hand is here. That's so sad. My god, is that sad. I was clicking it until I found more gold. And yeah, consider buying 3rd Fumes to be sure, but buy a Sneaky Strike. When you have Snecko Eye, it could cost 0 or 1, actually netting you energy, which is pretty cool. Not sure if it was right, but I still wanted a little bit more damage and wanted to add some reasonable Snecko Eye cards. But regarding the Fumes, the going from 3 to poison to 6 poison is really, really important. And additionally, with Snecko Eye, sometimes the first copy will cost like 3 and you can't play it. And so having a second copy of a really important card with Snecko Eye can be nice for some insurance if you happen to hit a really bad draw. You don't want it to be the case that your really important card with your 30 whatever card silent deck is unplayable and you can't play it. That'd be bad. And Fumes isn't like that important, but it kind of is. I don't know. It's just like you need it ticking on the Wraithform turns so that you can kill before you die, basically. It's so nice to be doing that free poison without having to spend any energy or cards on it. They're so consistent. I've always thought Fumes was super cool as well. I don't know why. It's one of my favorite cards, to be sure. And filling our potion belt, finding another Sneaky Strike. So hoping to actually gain energy with these Sneaky Strikes at some point. And hoping to find some card draw. That'd be nice. We have enough value just barely with our volley plans keeping stuff around, and huge Wraithform is very, very nice. The block here for 2. Tools of the Trade here would also be very good. Letting us activate Sneaky Strike whenever we want for free. No need to worry about our Survivor or Dagger Throw costing 3 on the same turn. Third Sneaky Strike's offered to me. That's all of a sudden pouring. I'm not interested in that though. The other 2 are trash, I think. Expertise was there. I did say I wanted card draw, but it's card draw that requires me to have less cards in my hand, which is not reliable with Snecko Eye. And I really was thinking this run, definitely taking a moment to think before just clicking cards. So here, I wanted them both to dive. Figured out I could do it with the Liquid Bronze there, or the Liquid Memories. Getting back Dagger Throw, Dagger Spray, oh my god. And still get attacked, very sad. So I do rip the Wraith Form. And actually hoping that it hits me here next turn, because I would still have Wraithform active. If I didn't, or if it didn't hit me, then it'd be very awkward the turn after that, for sure. And getting lucky here, normally it would be kind of a disaster to get hit like that, like twice in a row, but here it's very good with the Wraithform. So Wraithform completely flipping the game on its head here. The worst situation is now the best situation. And that's the power. And find a Paper Crane. When enemies are weakened, they will now deal 40% less damage instead of only 25% less damage. Very nice. Huge block relic. And we're also offered a Malaise from the same floor, applying some large amount of weak, and helping to fill in the cracks with our curve. If we draw an entire hand full of like 2 cost cards, we still have that 1 energy left over. Basically, it's flexible. You can spend any amount of energy you want on it, so play all the reasonable to play cards given their energy costs, and then spend what's left on the Malaise. That's pretty good. And of course, it's just a good card. I would have picked it anyway. Paper Crane makes it pickable. Very, very, very pickable. It's very good. And I Energy Pot here. Interested in not dying to these cultists. And Dagger Spray doing 36 here is pretty good. But a fight you need to take seriously. This fight requires speed. It should be doable by this point, but if you have a rather slow deck, like you're just playing Fumes and waiting for Wraithform, then you can have some trouble, for sure. And could consider like using a second potion here, which was, I was disgusted that I was even thinking about it. But yeah, take 13, 14. Brutal. Had to let Wraithform go earlier and couldn't say that didn't have volley plans in play yet, so just a bit of an unfortunate draw as well. There's a lot of situations where I take no damage here for sure. But sadly drew in the wrong order here. And I realize I have lethal, so I don't even need to play Wraithform. So Wraithform did nothing here, sadly. Taking a bit of a bench on that fight. 3 commons. Pretty ugly. 3 one cost commons even. And find a war paint, upgrading 2 random skills. Not the best hits there, won't lie. Get another shop here. And can certainly consider buying another potion along with our card move, and I buy a power pot. Immediately walk into Slavers. This is definitely the fight where I walk into it and I feel like I'm dead every single time I walk into it, no matter what, you know what I mean? It's just so horrifying. I would say this is like actually the hardest fight in the game, by some metric. What does hard mean? Most likely to kill you? Definitely top 3. And I can nooch here for actually 6 block instead of the defend there. And it even lasts until next turn, so it'll do it again. Unless I kill it, or I have Wraith form. Very sad. Yeah, just wait for fumes, play the Wraith form, and we're good. Nice and comfy. Auric Alchem is here, it's very cool. We end our turn with no block, we'll gain 6 block, particularly good with Wraith form. Sometimes we'll take some chip damage, but Auric Alchem basically makes it so you can't, almost. And I'm killing Romeo first here. Can't quite get there on Bear this turn. And his big thing happens on turn 1, where he gives you the dex minus, but Romeo's big thing is on turn 2, where he weakens you. And that's a bit tough. And then they'll both hit you for a lot on turn 3 anyway. Bear and Romeo. And this could have gone better as well. Wraith form once again in my last draw of the fight. Last relevant draw through my deck, rather. And so taking some damage. Romeo gets to die, but yeah, take 16. Ouch. There's Wraith form. Once again, could have gone a lot better. But it's fine. Applying our red mask, applying 1 weaken to all enemies at the start of each combat. Pretty good with Paper Crane, gotta say. And Flying Knee Plus I'm looking at here. And I'm like, yeah, I could use a little more damage. Yeah, I could use 1 energy next turn if I happen to roll good on the cost. Very strange for me. I would almost never consider clicking Flying Knee at this point in the run, even upgraded, and I have Snecko Eye. But yeah. If it happens to cost low, that extra 1 energy next turn can actually matter quite a lot. Basically, I feel like I'm just very desperate for energy right now, I suppose. And I can kill the mad gremlin here for sure. And Flying Knee cooking. Look at it go. And well-laid plans at the bottom here. Wraith form gets played right now, or it's probably not getting played at all. Let's see what I do. Looks like I'm ending, yep. Hoping it doesn't hit me here, it seems. And it does not. Actually kind of madman behavior, I'm gonna be honest. Definitely could have gone all wrong here. It is weakened though, so it would have done very little damage. But the gremlin minions could have rolled worse as well. And Burst Blade Dance making too many shivs. Very sad. And I find a 0 cost Wraith form, so I'm going to keep that around. This fight is now over, that's for sure. Completely immortal. At this point, I shouldn't even be killing the minions. Like, just point them all. I mean, it only cost me 1 strike there, so that's fine. But yeah, you can just go all in on Roman Leader. Will definitely be dead in 3 turns. And it's illegal. Play the Wraith form just in case. Of course. Got a Maw Bank, gaining us 12 gold each time we click on a new floor until we spend gold at the shop. And so I have Orichalcum and Paper Crane, so this disastrous situation actually only ends up with me taking 4 damage, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, that could have been bad. That's why relics and stuff are important. Play the Wraith form. Pretty cool. I like the way this deck felt a lot. Just like I say as I draw an entire hand of 2 and 3 cost cards. You know, this deck OI was overall a high roll. Like, there were more 0 cost cards than anything else. But you'll see that later in the game, on some very crucial turns, I was drawing a lot of, you know, 3 cost Noxious Fumes, 3 cost well-laid plans, stuff like this. And like, it doesn't actually matter how many 0 cost cards you get usually, it's which ones. Like, you don't really care if your strikes cost 0. If your Noxious Fumes cost 3. Like, if your whole hand except Noxious Fumes costs 0 and the Noxious Fume costs 3 and like there's all strikes and defense, it's like, what are we even doing here? So, quality over quantity for the energy cost randomization is important. And so some people may, like, this is why statistics are perhaps, you know, easy to abuse, let's say. You can look at a Snecko Eye and be like, dude, why are you complaining? Your Snecko Eye was a high roll, you had so many 0 cost cards. It's like, yeah, but look at this disgusting hand that I actually can see with my eyes and tell me that the Snecko Eye did good for me here, right? Only takes 1 bad turn to lose the run. 1 really bad turn sometimes. And considering playing a strike or not. So this champ is going to get castrated. You'll notice I walked into this champ at 14 health, and I'm not even using this cultist potion. That is seemingly madman behavior, but I was so confident here with the Wraith form for the split that I was like, I don't even need it. So, yeah. And I was right, by the way. Wasn't particularly close. Probably should have just used it anyway. Why take any particular potential risk? And like, the cultist pot isn't even that useful later anyway. Probably going to be leaning into poison more eventually with the double fumes. But it's fine. And I can actually full block because of that energy gain. It's all coming together. Don't need to play that. I have Orichalcum. But yeah. So I am currently letting poison accumulate so that my split turn will be bigger. Not strictly, like, I may play some attacks here and there, but the general idea. I want to get it there before it gains too much stuff, while also letting poison cook a bit. I'm just feeling it out. I'm a very feel-based player. And of course, keeping Wraithform around forever until I need it. And so it's splitting here. So just go, go, go. And then I'll have one more turn of this big poison. I'm weakened, sadly. Could play Dagger Throw, hope for a good card. Final Flying is pretty good. Good next turn there. Keep the attack. And so now the goal is play Wraith Form and then just play all of our damage cards over and over. So we win. Pretty good hand. Really good hand. In fact. Keep the Sneaky Strike, costs 1, so I might be able to gain some energy with it next turn. Oof, all defends. And almost there. We have 2 more turns, basically. Kill. 34 block. It's a lot of block. I finally get a really good hand where I can get rid of my whole hand and then make so many shivs, and it nets me 2 damage. Very sad. But it's better than nothing. And I had, like, liquid memories here as well. Whatever. And Bullet Time and Corpse Explosion are both here. Corpse Explosion, really good. I have a burst. And don't have really good cards to burst, other than the Blaze, which is only 1 time. And then once that's done, it kind of doesn't do anything. And there's also this Bullet Time, which seems insane with Snecko Eye. You're drawing 9 cards on turn 1, 7 cards on every other turn. And it makes your whole hand free. And it could cost less than 3 with the Snecko Eye randomization. So, seems insane, but I actually think the Corpse Explosion is more important here. We really want a fast card. Really good card. And some more poison, importantly. And it was Trash versus the Kite there. Take the Kite. Having a look. The right path, I could go 3 elites. But there's a lot of hallways in there. And I would like some question marks at least. And I could also go like through the middle there and then to the right with all those question marks, but there's no shop there. And I have 300 gold. So definitely wanted this early shop. Just feeling it. And then I wanted to go right and take 2 elites. There's 2 campfires there for some upgrades, which I'll probably have some cards I want to upgrade by then, so. The 3 elite path just seems like too sus. It's like literally all hallway fights. And then the 1 shop and the 1 campfire. Just a little too deadly for me. I don't think I need to do that. If there's going to be some amount of the time, some variance in where I draw Wraith Form. And if it's bottom deck, which it becomes more and more likely that it'll happen at least once. The more fights you take, then could just get too low for the bosses, sadly. I think if you have such a powerful shell here, there's just no need to risk that. Gotta realize when you're like already strong enough. I'm having a really good look here. I like what I'm doing here. Thinking quite a lot, and I do end up going this way. So I'm gonna take the full right path, 2 elites, and some more question marks involved in the early shop as well. Deciding whether I want to play Sneaky Strike, and I do, because this enemy only has 98 health. Gotta get this guy dead pretty quick. Or have a lot of burns and damage coming your way. Typical Kite moment. End our turn with 3 energy. Pretty good fight. And Backflip Plus is pickable, although not super exciting with this sort of deck. Snecko Eye just makes that kind of card not nearly feel as good. I love an Acro here. I don't think we find one the entire run, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, Acro not only being better card draw, but also discarding a card for Sneaky Strikes and Kite now. And here's why Corpse Explosion is good. 0.1 Corpse Explosion. If this was bullet time, it would have been fine as well, but definitely better. Definitely a point to Corpse Explosion. If I take a Crippling Cloud over the Piercing Well there, definitely really, really good here, especially with this Neko Eye. And Paper Crane. Take a Toolbox, add an extra card to our hand on turn 1. Could have considered Caltrops there, but also just card removed instead of buying that other relic there, which also looked pretty good. Happy Flower, I believe. We'd like some energy as well. And Transients here, from our toolbox, I take the fast, deal 7 damage, since damage is block. The best defense is a good offense against the Transient. Quite literally. And so it's not going to lose as much damage as you think because it's already being reduced by a lot by Weaken. So each hit that we do is actually reducing the damage by 40% of the amount that it should, which is interesting. So you can get baited by this if you think, oh, like I only need to do 16 more damage, it'll go down to 8, and then my poison will deal 9, and it'll go to 0. No, that's not true here. And so here I'm like, ooh, I might have to tank the very last turn where it's hitting you for the most damage if I Blaze Wraithform right now. So I wait and take 3, and then I can Wraithform pass. All good. So Wraithform is very scary. Like the reason I was thinking so much is because other decks you can kind of just click cards, and it's interesting because Wraithform is so strong. Like, arguably one of the best cards in the whole game. And you could argue that, like, the whole intangible thing is bad for the game or whatever. But it also makes you think, like, more? I don't know. For me, anyway. Because it's, you're living your razor's edge. If you play it too early, it's like your whole thing, then you could just lose because you played it then. Very biased cognition, like, as well. Yeah. Upgrade Crippling Cloud, 7 poisons a lot. It's a good card. Discovery looks pretty good. Trip will also look pretty good. But we have Corpse Explosion and poison stuff going on, so not as important anymore. Get a Reflex for our 0-cost survivor, that's pretty good. Burst is good. Can't quite get there on getting rid of my whole hand for Blade Dance. It's not that good anyway. Just double the melees. Yeah, doing the thing here. They just continuously pass Auric Outcome blocks for us every turn. Very nice. And once the right one dies, we'll get out. So this fight was super clean, very nice. Drew our cards where we wanted to. So even though this fight can be, in theory, very hard, this was very clean, very easy. Didn't even need the Corpse Explosion. We find the Specimen, a Silent Unique Relic. If we have any poison on an enemy when it dies, that poison will be transferred to another random enemy. Not particularly good, but it can be good. It's just very rare that it actually works out like that. Reptomancer, I suppose, with the fumes can be good. And upgrade a burst. I'm now feeling like I might actually have 2 playable skills in my hand that are good to double. Have to key, of course. The key is important. Should I be explaining what the key does and whatnot? You know what I mean? How new are you, faithful viewer? Some things I feel almost like pedantic saying, and some things I'm like, I should probably talk about that more. Anyway, a big turn here, and I spend quite some time thinking about this as well, which I'm very happy about. I've said recently, if I just slowed down a little bit and really thought about the turns where you're taking 100 or whatever, then you could perhaps win a lot more often. And so here, the obvious choice is to play the Ghost in a Jar first off, but I would love to save that for the heart. So I decided I can draw, of course, just in case, and then still play the potion as my out, but I find Corpse Explosion, and combined with the energy potion, I can afford to kill the highest health minion, therefore killing all of the minions with the Corpse Explosion, and only take 7. And that's definitely better than wasting the Ghost in a Jar. So I think that play was really good, and very happy about that. And I'm happy that I, thought for a moment and didn't just rip whatever. I'm proud. It's okay to not do every single thing without thinking. It's a game where you're supposed to think, right? Pretty good. So now I can play Wraithform, it'll be dead in 3 turns for sure. And yet again, if I had just drawn the Wraithform, wouldn't have had to even think about that. It is crazy how different it is. Apotheosis levels of importance to draw. And can make it out here, it's very nice. Also, we still had Wraithform up. Pretty wild. Wraithform literally blocking for 100 damage there, 96 damage. 95 damage. Anyway. And we did find Ceramic Fish, getting 9 gold whenever we take a card. Not very exciting, especially this late. And we take a Caltrops Plus. At this point, could use some more damage while we're just chilling with our Wraithform up and letting Poisons do its thing. And very good against the Heart as well. Now we will do 8 damage every time it multi-hits us, per multi-hit. So 15 times 8, whatever that is, 120. Pretty good damage against the Heart, to be sure. Yeah, at this point, we're definitely looking for more scaling. We'd have this Wraithform and Snecko Eye, so definitely wanted to just draw all of our good cards, put them in play, chill with the Wraithform going, and be able to kill fast enough. Something like a Catalyst would be really insane here. We have a Burst as well, so that would very quickly end the fight after we play our Wraithform, allowing us to pretty much avoid the downside of losing the 1 dex each turn, and the fact that it runs out. And with Poor Guardian, by the way, this is, who did this to Poor Guardian? It's like a rat in a cage. And we can literally just pass if we're Galcom. Didn't need Wraithform or Guardian. Obviously this fight is not ever hard, really, but in Act 3, of course. Find a Giria, completely worthless here, allowing us to, instead of upgrading or resting, gain 1 permanent strength at each rest site. And we're not interested in gaining strength here, we're doing most of our damage in poison, it seems. It's not hitting us on turn 1, but the Enlightenment is there with our Snecko Eye, so that's pretty cool. Make our whole hand cost 0. Or 1, rather. Pretty good turn. Should have played Fumes, Defend, etc. before playing the attacks. It's the slow debuff. It's all good, though. And castrating Giant Head there. Minus 10 strength, poor guy. Only hitting us for 1 damage. Pathetic. Play Fumes, yep. Keep Crippling Cloud, Wraithform. And hope that we draw this burst that causes 0. That'd be great. Enlightenment costs 3, it's not very good. So it can still chill in the Wraithform, it's not quite hitting us that hard. If it scales all the way up, and Wraithform runs out, and we haven't killed it yet, that can be actually significant damage. And sadly, only drawing one block card and it costs 3 energy. That's very sad. So might have to rip Wraith Form here to not take a lot. Could play Backflip and block Potion, which may have been correct. Well, it's likely that block Potion will block for quite a lot later as well. If we still need to do that, which we might not. Hoping to kill it by then. Two turns left, basically, to kill. Doesn't look like we're going to get there, though, with this kind of draw. Taking 30, ouch. Go burst, backflip, probably. It's going to die next turn pretty much no matter what. Can go dagger throw, sneaky strike. Double sneaky strike, in fact. And then burst, backflip, defend? Oh, I can just kill it, huh? Wow, exactly, almost. Very cool. So I didn't need to use the block potion after all. Well played. An Ancient Tea set is here, not very good. Take an After Image plus, that's pretty good. Continuing to gain block for us even when we have no dexterity. Quickly, the Ancient Tea set giving us 2 energy at the start of each combat after the immediate first combat after we are at a rest site. So not very good. Just unfortunately doesn't activate that often. And here, this is a very interesting decision. And I want to talk about this a little bit because there's a little bit of perspective here that I didn't quite appreciate. Like, I knew this, but I wasn't thinking about it at this time. So, like, obviously, you don't want to get rid of your card, right? Or whatever. Card removing a Predator is worse than card removing a Strike. But, if there was a button presented to you that said, remove Strike, or take 23 damage and remove Predator instead, would you click that button where you take 23 damage? I don't think you would. And yet, for all intents and purposes, that is what just happened. So, it's a bit strange. So of course, if you don't know, that event heals you, or can heal you, depending on what kind of card you sacrifice. If you sacrifice an uncommon card, you will full heal. And if you sacrifice a rare card, you will heal to full and gain 10 max health. So very nice if you have like a Berserk or something in your deck that you transform it into, you can get rid of it and get a huge benefit. And so I should have gotten rid of some uncommon, probably Predator, in exchange for 23 health there, because we're about to go into the Act 3 bosses, and they can be pretty scary. So, definitely very questionable and almost cost me the run, arguably. I did have 4 potions, so I was feeling pretty confident, but of course I would like to save as many of them as I could for the heart. Though we do have 515 gold to this Maw Bank absolutely cooking. And so, I did spend it earlier. I donned the red mask, that's what happened, for a lot of gold. And so we may be able to fill our potion slots once again if we do have to use them. No huge deal, probably. And After Image actually bad here. Oh, couldn't play enough cards for it to be good. Definitely looking to start actually blocking for amounts more than 6 so that we can perhaps avoid playing Wraith Form if we can, just to make the fight last a bit longer. But here, the Auric Alchem would have been better because we're not playing a lot of actual block cards to supplement it. Double a Crippling Cloud, can double a Defend as well. And now it's doing something. Very nice. The After Image will be good, but in that early part of the turns where it not only gave Mokebird strength, but also was preventing Auric Alchem from working, it was actually pretty harmful to us. Specimen cooking. And so we did malaise the Mokebird for a large amount, hoping to keep it at 0 strength until we split, and then we can play our powers afterwards. It would be nice. And just keep the Wraith Form around. If we need it, we have it. It's great. We have Caltrops in our hand, we have Fumes in our hands, but just gonna get there slowly. Make sure we play the powers after the split. It's already 55. That's a lot. And can split. Definitely consider taking the neutralize here. Yep, I actually do, it seems. Applying weaken is very important with Paper Crane if we're interested in just blocking. But it does look like we're getting there here, unfortunately. Could go down to 1 if I play Burst Defend Plus. And could consider using Block Pod as well. But I just play the Wraith form, which is kind of spooky. It's fine though. Should have just played Neutralize. Still keeping it around for some reason. That's a bit of a mistake. Survivor, discard a card, gives me 1 energy. Then I can Sneaky Strike perhaps for a little bit of damage. But that's a bad hand. A lot of 3s there. Very sad. Keep the burst. Let everything else go, it seems. And sometimes I have Predator, which will draw me 2 cards. So in this case, I think I remembered that time. It's very habitual to just keeping 2 cards over and over. But if you have Predator in play and you're drawing 7 with Snecko, then that's 9. And so if you keep 1 card, you won't overdraw at all. And so if you have a really stinky card in your hand, there's no point in keeping it. Like, sometimes it is, because you might as well keep it around as an extra card to discard or something like that. Unless you're really interested in redrawing it for a lower cost. So if it's like a strike or something, definitely worth keeping around in your hand if it costs a lot. Got there. So slowly getting grinded out here by the Woke Bird. The Paper Crane is carrying. That's for sure. Dagger Throw gives me an energy, which is huge here. I can burst Leg Sweep. Still full blocking. Very cool. It's not going to last forever, though. Probably Block Potion here, if I had to guess. No way to discard a card, sadly. It should be able to kill it next turn, hopefully. Still haven't played this Caltrops. It keeps costing 3, man. Every time I think I've drawn that card since it was relevant, it's been 3 cost. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, and there's a little bit of a cut there. I did win that fight, but had to go. So yeah, I decided to just splice those videos together and then talk over it. But yeah, sadly couldn't finish the whole run at once. Very annoying. And I forgot that I had Power Potion, getting back into it here, and did it a bit late, but found the Tools of the Trade, which is pretty good. That was a bit of a flash, man. I was like, what just happened? But yeah, I did, in fact, edit this video already. And so Tools is pretty good here. Lets us consistently use Hovering Kite, and always activates the Crippling Clouds, or Sneaky Strikes. I'm holding a Crippling Cloud, you can see where my mind went. And so only can play 2 more cards here. Considering, do I just rip the Huge Malaise, or do I play a Leg Sweep first? I do just rip the Huge Malaise. Taking more damage immediately for it, but more long-term benefit. And really hoping to keep this thing around. And so yeah, if I was at 38 health right now, it would be way more comfortable, right? I should have definitely gotten rid of Predator. I mean, the fight could have gone slightly differently if I didn't have the Predator. Therefore taking more damage, I suppose. Different universe. But I don't think the Predator was that impactful. Thinking here. So I can play 7 cards and end my turn if that's possible. And so right now past me is counting how many cards I have. Can I play all of these cards, etc. And yes. So it's going up to 6 right now, so I need to play 6 more cards. So Corpse Explosion, Defend, Predator, Survivor, Sneaky Strike, Defend is 6, and then I realize that that involves discarding Wraith Form, which is pretty spooky. If I want to play all 6 of these cards, Wraith Form has to go. But I do it. I'm feeling so confident that I can just do that, that's fine. With this huge malaise, and I'll have Weaken on it. And Burst Leg Sweeps here. Pretty good. Exactly full blocking, very nice. And it's always going to split here, and it's very nice because it's actually debuffing us. So normally it would debuff you and then hit you for a lot. But in this case, it will instead just start doing the split thing. Moving its strength minus, and setting itself to 240 health. Now it's splitting. I'd like to play 3 or 4 cards this turn to once again play up to 12 cards. And I can. And I can even draw 2 extra cards next turn. I keep 2 cards there. Those are good cards, though. So, that's reasonable. Play my Slimes. Keep Burst Wraith Form, of course. 0 cost Burst, very good. And it's not weakened. It's a bit spooky. So, is it Wraith Form time? Looks like it. My trump card. Pre-2016 meaning. And Burst Leg Sweep helps me play the enough cards to trigger the thing, of course. Keep the upgraded Defend around. And getting hit for 1. Little baby Time Eater. This time I should just keep Defend. I probably forget, yeah. Good Instincts is fine though. I mean, it's costs 1. Just make sure I have a playable skill. And yeah, it's debuffing me again, so it's gonna die here. Very nice. A bit too slow, Time Eater. And so we made it through with our Ghost in the Jar intact. Very nice. Playing as a whole turn against the Heart. Most important fight, because it's the last fight. And debatably the hardest fight. And 2 Thump. A Deep Pulsing Dread. Consciousness begins to fade, etc. Into the ending. 518 gold, it's pretty good. Lift is an option, I take a look, but nope. I have good upgrades. Leg Sweep's good, Corpse Explosion's good. Definitely good. Resting also good for 14, not to be forgotten. Some good potions, really good potions, and Orrery is here for 5 more card awards. Definitely love that. And the cool thing about this, if I had clicked card remove first, it wouldn't actually work. I have Ceramic Fish, which will just get me over the line to card remove for 150. Very cute. And I did find Catalyst Plus even. Wow, that's good. So that'll help a lot. It's all coming together real fast here. And Gamble is here. If I happen to roll well on the Gamble and bad on every other card, then I may like having the ability to just pitch my whole hand. Particularly good with Snecko, and your hand could be much worse than expected, given the RNG element. But it still costs 0, and will be 0 through 3 mana instead, energy, which definitely can be awkward. So unclear if that was correct, but I took it, and here we are. And I even decide to rip Wraithform on turn 1 here, because I expect this fight to be over pretty quickly, and I don't have Well-Laid Plans in my hands, so not playing Well-Laid Plans here would result in me taking 40 plus 21 here, and then 57 on turn 3, minus weakened damage. So, yeah, that'd be bad. And then here, Burst Catalyst is actually already doing 27, which is pretty wild. But I am taking some damage because of Afterimage. If I play Crippling Cloud, I go to 1 block and I take more damage than intended. 6 or 5, I suppose. So, a little bit awkward, but it's fine. You gotta play this Corpse Explosion. You have to play that Corpse Explosion. So this is a very awkward fight like I was talking about. Like, despite the numbers on Snecko being very good, that's a lot of 3-cost cards when it really matters against this enemy. This fight is brutal, and you really don't want your cards costing that much here. It all come crashing down. And here we're taking 1,000,000,068 it looks like. So could outright just die here. We have no decks anymore almost. And very spooky. So I pitch my hand looking for something good. I find Catalyst, and notably I just pitched away Burst. And that means that I can use this Liquid Memories to get it back and then double Catalyst. It's not quite dead, unfortunately. If I Catalyst right now, it does 87, which is not enough. And if I just had 1 more energy, or Corpse Explosion rolled better, I could play Corpse Explosion. Actually, it still wouldn't be enough, right? It would, 35 times 3. So yeah, a bit unlucky. But use the Liquid Memories there to escape unscathed. Taking Adrenaline, it's not as good with Snecko Eye, but still pickable. And I'm considering if I want to bottle anything. Bottle Lightning allowing us to keep a skill, or turn a skill in our deck innate, so we always draw it on turn 1. And Malaise is the most obvious contender here. But perhaps we want to draw it later for whatever reason. Not sure. But I do end up clicking it and putting it on the Malaise. And in we go. Discovery looks pretty good. Considered Deep Breath, I suppose. And Afterimage cost 0, that's really nice. Thank God. So now we can only take 1 damage per card we play instead of 2, allowing us to fully play this Blade Dance without taking any damage. It's pretty nice. And can Discovery find an Acro, it's pretty good. Which finds us Well-Laid Plans for a Wraithform, which is very good. So all culminating into a nice finish here. Found the good potions at the shop and Catalyst, which allowed us to kill the Elite so far, and then now Toolbox coming in handy to draw us into Well-Laid Plans on turn 1 there. And I'm considering, do I Malaise or not? And do I Adrenaline here or not? But I can save the Adrenaline. And also heavily considering what to do with this Artifact Pot. That's all I was thinking about at that point. Do I save the Artifact Pot for when I play Wraithform to preventing the Dex minus debuff, or do I use it right now to avoid getting vulnerable? And I decide that surviving the next 2 turns comfortably is more important. The big hit in particular. And so I choose to do that. Keep the or use the Artifact Pot to prevent vulnerable. And expecting that the Wraithform downside won't matter, because by the time we actually play this Wraithform and it runs out, it should be dead with this Catalyst involved. ideally. So blocking for a lot here. Could play Sneaky Strike and take 1 more, rather. Instead I take 6. And Caltrops in my hand, Fumes also in my hand. But Caltrops costs 1. So in it goes, can get rid of a slime. Should have played Sneaky Strike. I'm keeping it for an actually good turn where it'll net me energy. It's actually not too bad. And Catalyst is here and it costs 3 energy. That's a huge oof because I would love to keep it around in my hand for when I draw Burst, but it's so much energy. Can I even afford that? And yet again, I have the option to play Wraith Form here, but yeah, the thing about playing Wraith Form is that because it's on like a 2 on 1 off turn cycle, Wraith Form only actually does something for 2 turns, and so like it could just be a bit awkward. I don't know. It is really good, insane, obviously, but you have to time it right. And another tricky turn, considered I might have to Ghost in the Jar here for like basically only 15 block, which is very sad. But I have this 0 cost Dagger Spray in my hand to get out of my hand, and I have Hovering Kite for this aggro, so it kind of only costs 1. And I could draw into something really good here. And so I may be able to save this potion once again, so eventually I decide I can Dagger Spray. Like, I even am like about to click it right there, like, ooh, it was close. And this might have been the key decision. So, Dagger Spray first, take 1, Acro, draw 3, and then hope to hit something good. And I did hit Burst for 0, and a backflip even. But I don't even need it. I play it anyway. So, huge rewarded there for actually thinking for a moment. And I mean, this is definitely a run where I could have easily lost if I just was playing a little bit faster. Several huge turns that I only got to because I took 30 seconds or whatever. If you're looking at 100 damage and or lethal damage, you should just take a second. I think that's reasonable. And still Catalyst hanging around here, but it's almost there. It costs 0 now, I can keep it around, I have Wraith Form in my hand still. And 3 times 15, ouch! And I'm still considering that I might not have to play this Wraith Form. I can burst Survivor and see what happens. Get rid of the big defend, yep. And I probably will have to after all. But could also just Ghost in a Jar, yeah. So it's Ghost in a Jar time. And I still have Burst, of course. Second Burst from the Burst Plus. So I can burst the Catalyst. And now it's dead in 3 turns. Very good. And just play Wraith Form here, and pass, and pass. And we did it! So very happy about that. Definitely used my noggin here. Not played perfectly by any means, but I would say better than I normally do, and that's all I'm looking for at this point. Any progress is progress. An hour and 3, not too bad. Yeah, Relics were really good, Paper Crane was really good, Frozen Egg was really good, Orc Alchem overperforming. Did find a very good Orrery as well, so overall a very cool run involving a Snecko Island Silent, something I don't often do, and it felt very cool to play. If you're still here, how are you not subbed? How have you not liked the video? Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And as always, have a beautiful day.